Welcome back to my kitchen again. Today we're going to do kind of a foundational recipe for something called Mexican Macha, which I had heard about, couldn't find a recipe, or at least didn't know how to look for it. But Jose at Lydia's work had a recipe, so I've taken his recipe, modified it a little bit, and we've come up with it. And the reason we're doing this is it's kind of a secret weapon foundation in a lot of our cooking. We use it on vegetables, we use it on meat, we use it in stews, we use it in sauces. It's just a really wonderful base, spicy, smoky base to add a lot of depth of flavor. It's kind of like fish sauce, but in a completely different way. So we use a lot of that in these recipes. So, what do we use? Chilies, of course, Mexican Macha. So we have 4 guajilos here, 4 moritas, a cup, a pressed in cup of our bowls. All of these I pull the stems off, you see, you really don't want the stems in it. 1 cup of olive oil, you can use any oil you like. We just use a lot of olive oil, so that's what we use. 1/3 cup of raw peeled peanuts. You want to make sure you get all the peelings out because the peelings are bitter. 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds. Also, on average, 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. But if you look at these cloves of garlic, they're monsters. So I'm only going to use 3. Quick, I'll peel this one. Lay it out here, give it a good crush, and the peel will come right off. So that makes that quick and easy. So that's all there is to peeling garlic. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to heat my pan up and toast my sesame seeds. All right, so I've got my fire lit. I'm going to got my pan on. I'm going to dump my sesame seeds in because the first thing I want to do is toast the sesame seeds. It doesn't take a tremendous amount, but you do want them toasted. It just adds a little depth of flavor. So, toast them for a few seconds. There we go. You really want to keep stirring them constantly. You can shake it, you can stir it, you can toss them, whatever you want to. Just you're looking for a light tan, light brown color. I'm using a medium heat. Started out a little hot to get the pan hot. Now it's plenty hot. And that's probably about as much as I need right there. I probably got enough browning. You can see they're toasted. A little steam coming off. So I'm going to call that good. Now I'm going to get all of my sesame seeds out. Because I don't want them to burn, because they will. Okay, sesame seeds are out. Clean the pan out, make sure there's none in there. If you burn anything, it makes it bitter. Now I'm going to put my olive oil in. 1 cup of olive oil. That aside. Let that warm up a little bit. Pan's already hot, shouldn't take long. You can feel the heat radiating off. I'm going to put my garlics in and let them sit in there and brown a little bit. Then I'm going to fish them out also. The garlic, you want it brown. It's kind of, you want them kind of like you roasted them. You don't want them so brown that they get bitter but you don't want them green either. You need that softness and the warmth of the flavor of the roasting. The small little bits will start to brown first, and you'll have to get them out. I tried chopping it and dicing it, but it was such a mess to get out. I couldn't get it all out, and I was burning it before I got done, before I got them all out. You can see it beginning to brown a little bit right here on that piece. And the skins kind of bubble up and blister. That's what we're looking for. Just a little bit of brownage and blistering. That right there is good enough. I'll drop that in our plate. That one needs just a tiny bit more. Ah, look at that. That one's looking good. Very good. Very close. Pull this one out. That one. Bigger chunks take just a little bit longer. Now, while they're coming really close, I'm going to go ahead and drop my shelled peeled peanuts in. And with them, you just want to get them to look a little blistered. What I'm doing is I'm pouring them out as I'm checking to make sure there's no husks left in there, no skins left in there, because they will make it bitter. Good enough. All right, garlic's done. Looks great. Look at that. Now, I'll fry these peanuts just a little while. You'll see them start to crack open and brown just that little bit. You can see like that one's beginning to brown. You don't really want to cook them to death. You just want a little bit of tan brownish to them. You can see the color changing in them already right here. And that's probably good enough right there. I'll pull this out. I'm going to turn my heat down significantly. Set them aside. Because the last thing I'm going to put in here is going to be my chilies. And the chilies, they really benefit from a little bit of cooking, but if you're not real careful, they will get burnt. And again, guess what? It gets bitter. So you don't want to do that. Get all my peanuts out. Come on. There you go. Thank you. And I'm going to dump our bowl in. My guajilos. And then my morritas. Stir them around. Now, you can hear it. You can hear them frying. You really don't want to get carried away with this, I have found. So as soon as they go to frying like that, I'm going to turn the heat off. And one of the ways I'm looking at it, if you see this morrita, it's already swollen. It's swollen up, and that's enough. I just want to, but I'm going to let them sit in here until they kind of quit bubbling. I've already turned the heat down off. And when I get done with it, I'm going to put them back on the plate and let the whole thing cool down to room temperature. Oh yeah, smells delicious. I mean, it's just smoky, chili. It's just really, really nice. If you want to wash your chilies, you can, but you need to be very careful to make sure that you get them dry again before you put them in that hot oil. That's an ugly thing. So I figure whatever got on them, the oil is killing. Hot oil's killing. All right. Pour that in a bowl. Now I'm gonna let it all cool down to the point that I don't mind putting it in my blender, which that'll take 10 or 15 minutes. Our oil is cooled down to the point I can hold it easily. I'm going to pour it in my antique blender. Get as much out of it as I can. Don't want to waste any of it. I'm gonna get my peanuts and my garlic and my sesame in here now. And you don't have to worry about it. I washed my hands last week. Okay, good enough. And then I'm gonna take the guajillos and break them up because they don't like to blend if I don't. They just like to rattle around. The rest of the chilies can just dump right in. All right. There's that. And then my 2 teaspoons of salt. And we're ready to blend. It'll take a few tries. It won't, well, this is an antique. Maybe a newer one would do better, but we'll get it there in a minute. So, and I just want to pulse it. I really don't want to just turn it on and leave it on. All right, we've gotten it to the point, the consistency that we want. I'm gonna try and show this to the camera a little bit. What I want it to do is flow all the way around so it doesn't just create the air bubble and stick. That means I've ground it all pretty much to the same consistency. But there it is. Now, pour it in a jar. And you can leave this out. We do keep it in the refrigerator, but you can leave it out. And season anything that you want a smoky, spicy taste to. I'll rake a little bit more of that out, but let's see what we got here. That's delicious. And it's delicious on fish, meat, vegetables. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you come back and we'll show you how we use it. Thanks. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you did, give me the like, follow me, and if you want to help pay for gas and steel, find me on Patreon. Thank y'all.